Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jimmy with Papa J Vinyl. Hope you are doing well out there. Hope your 2024 is still going well. So today I was looking through, I don't know if you guys have this problem, but sometimes I look through the records and I think I don't have anything to play, even though I do, you know. But I was also looking through a lot of records and thinking, pulling out some to put on and play and stuff, and realizing that a lot of these records are they're not talked about enough in an artist's catalog. Because, for example, you have an artist like let's think, AC/DC. Everybody goes to Back in Black and Highway to Hell. Forget about the other other records that they put out that are so good. You can pick any artist and do that just about with any artist. So what I thought I would do today is I grabbed, I don't know, a good little stack of records right here out of my collection that I really like, that I think are not talked about enough, or maybe underrated, underappreciated, should I say. And I just thought I'd show them to you and see what you think. Hey, leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any records that you feel that way in your collection. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment, like, and all that good stuff. Thank you for the support that you guys have given me so far. I really appreciate it. I wish I could do more videos more often. Just time and life and all that kind of stuff just don't allow it. So, all right, I'm gonna get started. The first one that I think is a great record by this band, a massive catalog, but just one of the underrated records, I believe. Eagles, On the Border. This is great, man. Already Gone, On the Border, which is a great song. James Dean, Old 55, which is a Tom Waits tune. Good Day in Hell was great. Best of My Love. This is just a great record from front to back. This is actually one of the very first Eagles records I got. My dad brought it home to me. You've heard me say this in my videos before. My dad brought home a lot of records for me when I was young, and this was one of the first Eagles records I had. But anyway, I love this record. Good gracious, came out in 1974. I was 11 years old. But anyway, so that's one I think is pretty underappreciated by the Eagles, is On the Border. All right, another one. I've shown you guys this record before on another video or two, but another record that I think is phenomenal from the very beginning to the end is The Captain and Me from the Doobies. This is the one with China Grove and Long Train Running, but South City Midnight Ladies, Woman's on here. Did I get that title right, man? I'm terrible with titles sometimes. Did I get it right? I can't even see it, man. It is Lady. South City Midnight Lady, not Woman. Anyway, so good. This is one of those records that's sonically produced by Ted Templeman, did Van Halen, a bunch of other stuff. But what I love about this record is sonically, man, this thing came out in mid-70s, early 70s, and it is sonically so good. It sounds so good when you play it. But man, I just love it. I just love it from the very beginning to the end. Maybe a song on here that I, don't think is the greatest song that the Doobies have done, but for a whole, as a record, Captain and Me, You Can't Beat. So there you go. But this is also one of those records that's pretty much celebrated in their catalog as being a kind of a very pivotal time for them when this record came out, but it's still not talked about enough, in my opinion, and underappreciated. So Doobie Brothers, Captain and Me. All right, another one kind of in the same vein of Doobies and Eagles. I love this artist. I think he's one of the greatest writers. This is Jackson Browne's Running on Empty. Man, this is one of Running on Empty. He's got the great song, Rosie, You Love the Thunder, Load Out and Stay, that little medley thing that he does in here when he goes in from Load Out right into Stay. Good gracious, man. It's just so good. And the band he had on this tour, this is a live record, by the way, if you don't know. Danny Korchmar on guitar, Rosemary Butler and Doug Haywood, two great singers. They sang with James Taylor, and they sang with, I think, Stevie Nicks, and just all kinds of artists like that. David Lindley, who sings one of the high part on Stay on the record. Leland Sklar, my gosh, played bass for, you name it. The dude's played bass for James Taylor, Carole King, a bunch of other ones. So this is actually, you know what? This is the 180 gram of this record, the 180 remaster. Doesn't sound as good as the original, not at all. Doesn't have the punch that the original has. So, but a very underrated record in my opinion. Even though it was another pinnacle record for him, when he released this, it kind of blew up. But it's just not talked about enough. I think that's what I mean by all of this. It's just not, you know, not given the due it's really due, I guess you could say. But anyway, Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. All right. I mentioned this band a little while ago, Highway to Hell and Back in Black. But this is awesome. This is killer. If you want blood. My favorite song by AC/DC on here, Rock and Roll Damnation. Oh, I love this record, man. I just love it. I just think it just kicks. It was really cool. I was in a record store about a week ago. This is what they were playing over the loudspeakers, so in the store. But I just think it should be played more, and I'll play it more at my house. AC/DC, If You Want Blood, really, really, really solid record. All right. Now, I was never been a real big fan of this group here, but I appreciate them. I wouldn't say that I absolutely just freak out over them because I never did. But this record is really, really good. The last song on this record on side 2 is my favorite song by this band, and I love it because it sounds so good when I play it through my system. But LA Woman, The Doors. The song I'm speaking of is Riders on the Storm. It just sounds so good. But this got Love Her Madly on it, LA Woman. You know, the whole record's really good. Honestly, I got to be in the mood for this, though. I can't just play it for fun. I got to really be in the mood to want to hear this. But as a whole, I think it's really, really solid record by The Doors. So. All right, this record here, I have mentioned this record before. I mentioned the tour when I did my live shows, my favorite live shows. This guy's was actually my favorite live show I've ever been to. But this record, you know, I'll just show it to you. The Rising by Springsteen. Born to Run is talked about a lot. Nebraska is talked about a lot. There's some other ones, but this one here, Born in the USA, of course, is talked about. I just think this is one of the best records he's ever done. This was written soon after 9/11. A lot of songs deal with that. My City of Ruins, Into the Fire. But oh God, I could listen to this record over and over and over and over. I just think it's not talked about enough. I just think it's absolutely hands down one of his best records ever, if you're a Springsteen fan. Hope you would agree with me. So anyway, Bruce Springsteen, The Rising, another record that I feel like should be appreciated more. You're Missing, what a great song, man. About, you know, kind of a lot of the songs on here go along with what happened to our country on 9/11. I know Springsteen's political and all that kind of stuff, but I really tend to overlook that crap with artists. I don't really pay it no attention. I'm just more about the music and stuff. So good, man. All right. I've mentioned this record before too. It is my favorite record by this band. I think it catapulted the career, and then drugs took over, whatever. Then they came back and they have a very successful career. But Aerosmith, Get Your Wings, same old song and dance. You know, Lord of the Thighs, Women of the World. Gosh, man, I just really like it, man. I just think it's really so good. I love Train Kept a Rollin', of course, on here. But I just love this record, man. Love. This is the first Aerosmith record I ever got. My dad brought me this one too. I never even knew who they were, and he brought me this record. So I just think it should be played more and more if you're an Aerosmith fan and if you're a record player. So Get Your Wings, Aerosmith. If you don't have it, go grab it, man. It's so good. I'm thinking about going to see this guy in a couple weeks, or a couple months, should I say. But this record here, I think hands down is just, I could listen to it a lot. It's not, and it is not talked about enough. Bryan Adams-Reckless, man. My favorite Bryan Adams song is the first one, One Night Love Affair. But check out this, man. Run to You, Heaven, Somebody, Summer of '69, It's Only Love, Kids Wanna Rock. My gosh, what a bunch of songs on this thing, man. You can't, I mean, you can't go wrong listening to this record. It sounds good, and he's on all cylinders, man, on this record. But he's coming to Charlotte in a couple months, and I really think I'm gonna go, just because I would never seen him, and I think it'd be just a night of great hits and stuff. So, okay, there you go, Bryan Adams-Reckless, from back in the early '80s, or I think around '84, something like that. I don't know exact dates on records a lot of times. Gosh, this one here. All right, so I love this guy too. I've seen him about 5 or 6 times. But this is a little different record for him, but it's just solid, man. Rod Stewart, Out of Order. This one, goodness, you know, Lost in You, Dynamite's great, The Wild Horse, Forever Young's on here, and then he does like Try a Little Tenderness and My Heart Can't Tell Me No, When I Was Your Man. Andy Taylor from Duran Duran produced this, along with Bernard Edwards from Chic and Rod Stewart. So good production, good sonic record. Out of Order from Rod Stewart, another really solid record that's not talked about enough in his catalog, that's for sure. This is a record, another one that my dad brought me, and but I didn't know who this guy was either, but I played this record to death when I was a kid. And I kind of lost track of it until later in life, in adulthood, and went back and found it, and still love it to this day. But Can't Argue with a Sick Mind, Joe Walsh. What a great live record. Rocky Mountain Way, Turn to Stone, Walk Away's on here, Help Me Through the Night. It's just so good. It's just, and it's not a very long record. It's just a very solid record. So not talked about enough at all in Joe Walsh's career and catalog. So there you go, man. I love this record. I don't love everything about it, but I think it's pinnacle. Rossington Collins Band, this is their debut. This is one that had Don't Misunderstand Me on there, but 3 Times as Bad, One Good Man are great. This is basically Skinner after the crash, okay? And good gracious, man, it is really good. I mean, think about this, okay? You got Del Krantz, who's with Skinner, Gary Rossington, Alan Collins, Billy Powell, and Leon Wilkeson. I mean, Skinner guys right there. Put this band together, Rossington Collins. It's a debut from them. It's just so good. If you like Southern rock and Skinner. Not this record. I think they did another one or 1 or 2 records after this. But for as a whole, the record's really good. If you like that Skinner, that Leonard Skinner Southern rock stuff, this is a great one too. So, all right. Now, I'm going to talk about this artist here. You might laugh at me, and that's okay. I'm good with that because I like this guy. Okay, so I think he's a prolific songwriter. Love his voice. I've seen him live probably 8 times. My wife's seen him more than that. He is amazing live. Great entertainer. Great singer. I think he's 74 or 75 years old now, and you wouldn't really know it. But I'm talking about Rick Springfield. This record here, look, Success Hasn't Spoiled Me Yet, Working Class Dog, Living in Oz, and the soundtrack to that movie he did. But this one is so different, and it is so freaking good, y'all. It's a great pop rock record. Every song on here is fantastic, and look, ain't no shame in me in liking Rick Springfield. I like everything he's done, just about. I didn't like the new record that just came out, though. But he's great live. A lot of people think he's this teeny bopper dude that was on General Hospital and all that kind of stuff. And he was. But musically, very talented dude. Does a lot of stuff with Sammy Hagar, too, now. But get this record, y'all. Find this and get it and play it if you like rock music. So, pop rock type stuff. A couple more. might laugh at this one for me, and that's okay. But I think it's a great record in their catalog. They're still going strong. Supposedly they're on their farewell tour like they all are. And supposedly a lot of people don't like it because there's no originals in the band anymore. I don't, that's another video, okay? Foreigner Head Games. Now everybody talks about the debut. They talk about Double Vision. Talk about Foreigner 4, but this one to me is my favorite. It's got Dirty White Boy on it, Head Games, Love on the Telephone. I love this record. I think it's solid. It's not talked about nearly enough in the Foreigner catalog. Just really, really good. It's a really good record, man. Foreigner. Who produced this record? Let's see. I don't know if it says it up here. Rebel in the Red Line, I'll Get Even With You, Women, Head Games, Dirty White Boy, Modern Day. The whole thing's good. I'm trying to find out who produced this record so I can, most of the record all written by Mick Jones and Lou Gramm. Produced by Roy Thomas Baker. Okay, there you go. And so anyway, good production, good sounding record, solid songs, good record. Okay, two more. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. I just want to tell you that this is my favorite album by this band, Van Halen-Fair Warning. I just think it's great. I love Unchained, of course, but Mean Street, and I love Dirty Movies, and I don't know. I just think the whole record's great. This is another Ted Templeman produced record. I don't think it's celebrated enough. I think it's kind of hid under everything else. Van Halen 1 and 2, Women and Children, and Diver Down, and, you know, of course, 1984, but I think this one should be talked about a lot more. Last one, y'all. Last one. They didn't put out, the first three records of this band are ones that are the most popular and the best ones, really. But this is Don't Look Back, Boston. And I'll tell you the truth, I love Third Stage. I think Third Stage is great too. I like this better than the debut, personally. I just think debut overshadows everything else they've done because of the hits Long Time, More Than a Feeling, whatever. But this one's great too. This is two really, really good records. So, all right, there you go, y'all. Those are some records that I think are great records that are kind of underappreciated, should I say. If you have any, leave me in the comments. Any records you think I should have left up here or shown, that's fine too. But anyway, tell me what you think. What's some records in your collection you think are underappreciated? Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. I will see you soon.